What's up, and welcome to day 2 of When Seasons Change. We're discussing 6 ideas to help you in your journey through change. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, it seems like every year goes by faster than the previous year. I mean, I look at my oldest kid who's 14, and I remember like it was yesterday that I was holding him right after he was born. And just time just moves so quickly. And it's really easy to just allow the seasons to come and go and not take stock of what God has done. But how can you be thankful for something you haven't noticed? How do you know how much you've grown in your relationship with God if you haven't reflected on where you started? This is also true with other relationships in life, right? In life, we don't just end up where we are. No, we have journeyed to where we are. Today's big idea to help you journey through change is to reflect on the last season while walking toward your new season. In Scripture, we see a pattern of remembrance before forward movement. Reflection of what God did in the last season in order to start the next season well. The word remember is used 169 times in the Old Testament alone. And in the book of Deuteronomy, Moses is preparing God's people to enter into the promised land. But before they go into the promised land, he reminds them of what God has done. Hence the name of the book, Deuteronomy, which means second law. In the book of Deuteronomy, the word remember is used about 15 times. In Deuteronomy chapter 8, in verse 1 and the first part of verse 2, it says, this is Moses talking to the people. The whole commandment that I command you today, you shall be careful to do, that you may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land that the Lord swore to give your fathers. And you shall remember the whole way that the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness. Now, the rest of this chapter and really the next few chapters enumerate all that God did while they were in the wilderness. But why did Moses do this? Well, because reflection of the last season prepares you for walking in the fullness God has for you in the new season. I do this reflective exercise with God at the end of almost every year, and most recently this year, after I retired from 21 years in the Army, both active duty and in the National Guard. And I invite you to do the same or something like it, the same type of exercise. So here are some examples of the questions that I ask God. How did I grow? In what ways did I obey God or disobey God? What lessons did I learn? What experience did I have that shaped me? Did I get what God wanted me to get from this last season? Did I give what God wanted me to give in this last season? And as I began to remember and write, my reflection turned into thanksgiving. And then my thanksgiving turned into worship. And then worship turned into a faith increase toward the next season. It caused me to look forward to what God was going to do next. So when you're in the midst of a season change, don't try to walk back. That doesn't work. Don't try to walk back to what was. But remember, reflect, and walk toward the new season. We'll see you.